What if I told you your penis doesn't age because it's weak, but because you're misinformed? After 50, most men believe decline is inevitable: softer erections, lost desire, emotional disconnect. But the truth is shocking. Science now proves you can restore blood flow, regain sensation, and revive intimacy naturally. This isn't about pills or gimmicks. It's about reclaiming the confidence you thought was gone. I'm a veteran researcher, and in this 3-part series, I'm revealing what most doctors don't say. So if you're over 50 or love someone who is, hit like, subscribe, and share this now. You're about to change how you see aging, forever. Part 1. The invisible transformation: what happens to the penis after 50. 1. Let's break the silence. It's no secret that aging brings changes to every part of the body, but when it comes to the penis, most men suffer in silence. They chalk it up to just getting older. But here's the truth: knowing what's happening physiologically is the first step to taking action. So let's stop whispering and start learning. 2. Size, blood flow, and elasticity: what really changes? One of the most reported concerns after age 50 is a perceived reduction in penis size, both in length and girth. Now, does the penis actually shrink? Scientifically speaking, yes, but not in the way you think. The penis isn't losing mass, it's losing circulatory efficiency and tissue elasticity. Blood vessels that were once elastic begin to harden due to aging, high cholesterol, or lack of activity. Less blood equals less firmness equals less visible size. Collagen and elastin, the proteins responsible for skin and tissue flexibility, begin to degrade. Fat may accumulate at the pubic bone, making the penis appear smaller, even if its internal length hasn't changed. My take: don't panic. This isn't permanent. But it does require you to think of your penis less like a tool and more like a muscle and a system that needs regular care. 3. Testosterone, the hidden hormone behind it all. You've probably heard about low testosterone, but what does that actually mean? Testosterone plays a major role in maintaining erectile quality, libido, and even nocturnal erections. Starting around age 30, testosterone drops by about 1% per year. By the time you're 60, that can be a 30%, 40% drop. The impact? Slower erections, decreased sensitivity, weaker orgasms, reduced frequency of sexual thoughts. But here's the twist: not all of it is hormonal. Some of it is mental conditioning: years of stress, anxiety, and shame that chip away at desire. I've worked with men who felt dead down there only to rediscover a strong sex drive when their emotional health improved. 4. Morning wood, your natural health check engine light. Let me say this clearly: if your morning erections stop happening entirely for weeks at a time, it may be a sign of something bigger than just aging. Morning erections, or nocturnal penile tumescence, are controlled by your parasympathetic nervous system. If they stop, it could be a sign of cardiovascular issues. Yes, your penis is a diagnostic tool. Or hormonal imbalance. Or even sleep disorders like sleep apnea. My tip? Track your morning erections just like you would track your heart rate or blood pressure. It's a window into your vascular health and even your emotional state. 5. Sensitivity, why sex doesn't feel the same. This is one that often surprises men. They're still getting erections, but the sensation just isn't the same. Why? The nerve endings in the penis, particularly the glands, the head, become less responsive. Skin thins and blood flow decreases, reducing warmth and friction sensation. And in some cases, diabetes or nerve-related issues play a role. But again, this isn't a dead end. Some men describe this change as an opportunity to explore deeper, slower intimacy, focusing less on peak stimulation and more on emotional and physical connection. I call this evolving from intensity to depth. 6. Erectile dysfunction versus natural slowing down. Erectile dysfunction, ED, doesn't mean you never get hard. It means your erections are no longer reliable enough for penetration or satisfaction. This isn't just about age. It's about vascular health, psychological health, and yes, pelvic muscle tone. If you're struggling with erections that fade mid-intercourse, needing much more stimulation than before, or finding it takes hours or days to recover from orgasm, that's not just aging. That's your body signaling for help. 7. Shame keeps men silent, and that silence ages you faster. Let's talk psychology. In Western culture, many men are raised to believe their masculinity is tied to their sexual performance. So when things start to shift, shame creeps in, and shame leads to silence. Silence leads to inaction. Inaction leads to faster decline. The men I've seen age the best sexually are the ones who embrace vulnerability. They talk to their partners. They seek medical advice. They journal their progress. They stay in the game, even when the game changes. As a researcher, I believe this is where we must shift the conversation from manhood to wholeness. 8. What the research says, but with a twist. Let me share one stat and then reframe it. A study published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that by age 70, nearly 60% of men experience moderate to severe erectile dysfunction. That sounds grim, right? But what it doesn't tell you is this: 40% do not. And many of the 60% recover or improve with lifestyle changes, medication, or therapy. In short, ED is not a death sentence. It's a warning bell. And bells are meant to wake us up, not bury us. Closing part 1, from passive aging to active ownership. So let's end this part with one core idea. Your penis is not a victim of time, it's a reflection of your overall health. If you move your body, nurture your mind, and treat intimacy with curiosity rather than fear, you can absolutely thrive after 50. In part 2, we are going to explore real-world strategies that men over 50 are using to strengthen, heal, and reclaim their sexual confidence without shame or secrecy. I promise you it's not too late. In fact, for many, it's just beginning. Part 2, the changing penis, and what every man over 50 should know. Hello again, friends. If you've made it this far, I commend you. Talking openly about men's health, especially below the belt, still feels taboo for many, but not here. This space is about truth, care, and reclaiming your confidence at any age. In part 1, we explored how aging affects the male body, particularly the penis, and why these changes are natural, not shameful. Now, in this second part, we dive deeper into the science, psychology, and practical strategies to preserve not just function, but pride and pleasure. Pushpin Section 1, Understanding the Aging Penis. It's more than skin deep. As a longtime researcher, I've interviewed urologists, read hundreds of peer-reviewed studies, and spoken to countless men navigating life after 50. Here's what I've learned. Yes, the penis does undergo structural and physiological changes with age. Blood flow decreases, making erections less firm or slower to develop. Elastic tissue stiffens, impacting flexibility and size perception. Testosterone drops, affecting libido and sexual performance. But here's the kicker most people don't talk about. The penis ages just like your heart, brain, or skin. It's not a failure, it's biology. What matters is how you respond. Let me tell you a story from a retired firefighter I spoke to in Ohio. At 67, he told me bluntly, "Doc, I used to wake up every morning ready to go. Now it's like my engine needs warming up. That engine isn't broken, it just needs a tune-up." And that's exactly what we'll cover next. Pushpin Section 2, Daily Habits that Restore Male Vitality. Many men think they need a blue pill or an expensive supplement to feel like themselves again. But often, your daily habits are more powerful than any prescription. Broccoli nutrition that supports penile health. Penile function depends heavily on vascular health. The more your arteries clog, the less blood reaches your erection. Here are foods that directly support better circulation and testosterone. Leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula high in nitrates that improve blood flow. Berries and citrus, rich in antioxidants that protect vessels. Zinc-rich foods, oysters, pumpkin seeds, and beef support testosterone production. Avoid processed meats, high-sugar foods, excess alcohol. Think of every meal as either feeding your vitality or feeding dysfunction. Person running movement equals manhood. Exercise is non-negotiable. In one study from the Journal of Sexual Medicine, men who exercised 30 minutes a day had a 40% lower risk of erectile dysfunction. Start simple. Brisk walks. Body weight squats. Light stretching to increase pelvic blood flow. Remember, a healthy penis depends on a healthy body. Brain sleep and stress, silent destroyers. Lack of sleep lowers testosterone. Chronic stress boosts cortisol, which kills libido and erectile strength. Fix it by going to bed the same time every night. Turning off screens an hour before bed. Practicing deep breathing or mindfulness to decompress. Pushpin Section 3, Myths that hurt men over 50. Let's tackle a few toxic myths still floating around. Crossmark Myth 1, if you're not as hard as you were at 20, you're less of a man. Truth, erections naturally change. But your ability to please, connect, and enjoy can grow richer with age. Crossmark Myth 2, masturbation at this age is shameful. Truth, regular self-pleasure is healthy. It keeps blood flowing, boosts mood, and helps you stay connected to your desires. Crossmark Myth 3, only pills can help. Truth, lifestyle, emotional health, communication, and proper medical care play a much bigger role than any temporary fix. Here's a quote from a 71-year-old sculptor I once interviewed. I've stopped chasing performance and started chasing connection. My sex life got better the moment I stopped trying to be young and started trying to be present. That, my friends, is the shift we need. Pushpin Section 4, what to watch for, and when to see a doctor. Being proactive doesn't mean worrying, it means being informed. Watch for sudden or severe erectile dysfunction, changes in testicle size or texture, pain or curvature during erections, could be Peyronie's disease. These are signs to visit a urologist, not suffer in silence. Also, get your testosterone levels checked yearly. Prostate examined as recommended. Cholesterol, blood pressure, and blood sugar monitored because your heart and penis share the same blood highways. Pushpin Section 5, reclaiming masculinity through self-respect. Let's get real for a moment. Many men hit their 50s or 60s and quietly grieve the body they once had. Some feel embarrassed, some even hide from intimacy. I've heard it all. I'm not attractive anymore. I can't satisfy her like I used to. It's over. But here's the truth. You're not broken. You're evolving. And this chapter can be more fulfilling than you ever imagined if you lean into care instead of shame. Let your masculinity be defined by kindness, curiosity, and the courage to grow. The size of your erection is far less important than the strength of your character. And yes, your body can still perform. But more importantly, it can still connect, express, and love. Pushpin wrapping up Part 2, a new vision of sexual health. So what have we learned? Aging is natural. Dysfunction is not inevitable. Food, movement, rest, and mindset matter more than magic pills. Pleasure, presence, and intimacy are not exclusive to youth. Masculinity is not measured in inches but in presence, patience, and love. In Part 3, we'll dive into specific treatments, therapies, and natural methods that have helped thousands of men restore not just function but joy. So don't go anywhere. The best part is still ahead. Part 3, Restoring Power, Pleasure, and Purpose, a modern guide for the mature man. Hello again, my friends. If you've journeyed with me through Parts 1 and 2, you already understand how aging changes the male body and how you're far from powerless in this transformation. But today in this final part we're not just talking about understanding or prevention. We're talking about restoration. About reclaiming your confidence. About finding joy in your body again. About becoming the man who still makes his partner feel desired, not because you perform like you did at 25, but because you love with intention at 65. Let's get into the strategies that truly work, not gimmicks or quick fixes but real, lasting solutions backed by science, experience, and personal stories from men just like you. Hammer on Wrench Section 1, Modern Treatments that Actually Work, Without Selling You Hope in a Pill. 1. Pelvic Floor Therapy, the Kegel for Men. Most men ignore this, but it's one of the most effective tools for erectile strength and bladder control. Strong pelvic muscles help maintain erections longer. Improve ejaculation control. Support overall pelvic health. How to do it? While urinating, try stopping the flow midstream. Those muscles? That's your pelvic floor. Practice tightening and releasing those muscles in sets of 10, 3 times a day. Even in men over 70, regular pelvic training has shown results in clinical trials within 3 to 4 weeks. 2. Shockwave therapy. Low-intensity shockwaves stimulate new blood vessel growth in the penis. Research from urology clinics shows improved blood flow, stronger, longer-lasting erections. Results after 6 to 12 sessions. It's non-invasive and increasingly popular with men in their 60s and 70s who don't want to rely on pills. 3. Vacuum erection devices, VEDs. It may sound old school, but VEDs are FDA approved and widely used. How it works. A cylinder fits over the penis and creates vacuum pressure. This draws blood into the penis, causing an erection. A band is then placed at the base to maintain firmness during intimacy. Simple, drug-free, and highly effective for men with vascular issues or post-prostate surgery. Herb Section 2, Natural Aids, science-backed, not snake oil. There's a flood of supplements on the market, but only a few are truly supported by peer-reviewed studies. Here's what I recommend as a researcher and why. 1. L-citrulline. An amino acid that helps produce nitric oxide, the same substance Viagra targets. Improves blood flow. Supports natural erection function. Best taken daily, 1,500 to 3,000 milligrams. 2. Ashwagandha. This ancient herb has been shown to reduce cortisol, stress hormone, boost testosterone naturally, improve mood and sexual satisfaction. A study in the American Journal of Men's Health found testosterone increased by 15 to 20% in older men using ashwagandha daily. 3. Vitamin D and zinc. Many older men are deficient in both, which directly affects libido and hormone balance. Have your levels checked and supplement as needed, with your doctor's guidance. Red Heart Section 3, Emotional Connection, the forgotten pillar of male sexual health. Here's something most sex health discussions leave out. Your penis isn't just controlled by your body. It's controlled by your mind, your heart, your emotional state. Let me share a personal moment with you. A few years ago, I sat with a 74-year-old man, Henry, who broke down in tears. His problem wasn't just physical, it was that he didn't feel seen anymore. He had been with his wife for 45 years, but he told me, "We stopped touching, stopped laughing, stopped trying. I don't miss sex, I miss feeling wanted." It hit me like a brick. That's when I realized, for many men, erectile dysfunction is a symptom, not the disease. It's a symptom of disconnection, emotional neglect, shame and silence. The solution? Start touching without expectation, hold hands, give massages, lay beside each other. Talk openly, share your fears, your hopes, your desire to be close again. Focus on presence, not performance. Great intimacy isn't about perfection, it's about being fully there. And if you're single, these same principles apply. Don't chase quick validation, seek meaningful connection, even if it starts with yourself. Brain Section 4, When to seek professional help, and why it's brave, not weak. If you've tried lifestyle changes, supplements, and emotional reconnection and things still don't improve, see a specialist. Urologists can rule out prostate, vascular, or hormonal issues. Psychosexual therapists can help you unpack emotional trauma or self-image problems. Relationship coaches or counselors can guide couples back to intimacy. You're not broken, you just need a team. And the smartest men I know? They ask for help before things fall apart. Compass Section 5, Redefining Manhood in the Golden Years. Let's end with what truly matters. The goal isn't to go back in time. It's to move forward with confidence, wisdom, and love. At this stage of life, intimacy becomes less about raw desire and more about emotional safety, mutual respect, lasting connection. Your penis doesn't define your manhood. Your character does. Your courage to show up and to keep caring does. So whether you're facing changes, healing from shame, or building a new kind of relationship, know this. It's not too late. You're not alone. And your best days of intimacy might still be ahead. Final message from a researcher who's spent decades in this field. I've spent over 20 years studying men's health, aging, and sexuality. And if there's one thing I wish more men over 50 knew, it's this. You don't stop being a man when your body changes, you start becoming a deeper, stronger, wiser one. Take care of yourself. Invest in your pleasure. Talk to your partner. Don't settle for silence. You deserve love, joy, and yes, great sex at any age.
you. Thank you.